Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, here we
Here we
go.
go.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
What's up, y'all?
Welcome back to the Oh Here We Go podcast.
I'm Lacey,
I'm Stephanie.
and we're in Denver today.
This is our first time to record in our new Denver location, which is my apartment here. And yeah, it's going pretty well, I think.
I mean, honestly,
Is everything recording?
I don't know if I've actually expressed to you how thankful I am for you putting in so much work to make this come together.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, because Stephanie for weeks has been like going to Arkansas, going to Denver, and then just like all of this shit being ordered to her house, going to fucking Home Depot and like setting this up. Like she has done the absolute most for this, and I've just been like kind of like receiving text message updates from her being like, oh yeah, that's cool.
Well, I
thanks.
just knew that if I was gonna, me coming to LA is easier for you. It is, I mean, then I need to put, if we're going to be coming to Denver, then I need to be putting in all the work to make it happen. So that way it's just easier on both ends. But I mean, really, Michael Harris helped with so much of this, and then getting connected with our new audio and sound guy, Michael, has been like so key. I mean, yeah, basically it's been nice, but also everything I did for this was for nothing. So it's fine too.
Yeah, we have to return a lot.
Yeah, we have to return a lot of things that were pointless, but it's okay.
We're just growing girls.
Just growing girls. But you know, as far as that's the update for Oh Here We Go right now.
Yeah.
We're now located in 2 spots.
I guess this only really matters if you're, well, it doesn't even really matter to the audience.
It matters none.
But like if you're watching on our YouTube, you'll see like the different setting. But anyways.
Yeah, anyways, we have a really cool guest on today. Her name is Maggie.
This episode was filled with tea.
Lesbian sex.
Our sex lives.
Our sex life. I mean,
We just really went for it. This was pretty
I
like.
wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared to be like
This was very
talking
vulnerable
about
for us.
Yeah, it was a vulnerable one. I mean, not
I
like
like it.
Yeah, not like as in like I feel vulnerable, but just like we were pretty candid and open about some things.
About,
and so
yeah.
It was good. I learned a lot. I don't know a lot about lesbian sex. I
never have. Yeah.
I've never even tried. So going into this, I was really nervous because I don't want us to say something that's like ignorant and us offend anybody, and us to say a term that's not accepted or something like that. And so I just always kind of avoided topics like this. But now I'm like,
Education.
and if I offend somebody through like me trying to educate myself, I mean, I'll be able to handle that, I guess. But yeah, it was really, really good. She is awesome. And
she's from Arkansas too, so that was really fun. And she just recently, or not just recently, she lives in Denver now, and so we got to learn just about her coming out, her experiences with a man versus a woman, what she prefers, what she's into. We learned terminology and all the vocabulary about what we got: top bottom, verse, power bottom, pillow princess, pansexual, bisexual. We talk about dildos, strap-ons, like scissoring. So we really do cover a lot, but it's I have never known much about lesbian sex at all, and I've never looked at a woman and been like, well, Halsey a little bit. I've never looked at a woman and we kind of like talk about this and been like, damn, I've never had that like energetic feeling within me. But I am interested for the sole fact of being like, women know how to please women because it's like also we're familiar with our own bodies, so they know what would feel good on another woman, and my sexual experiences with men have just been like, okay. I mean, they've been amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had great like sexual experiences, but when it comes to like giving head or going down or
they're
like
more like things that take a little bit more time,
right? When it comes to a man like pleasing a woman and trying to get a woman off, I just haven't really like found a guy that has done it like the way I would want it to be done. And so that's why I'm interested. I'm like, I'm curious as to what women do. Like I guys, anybody, listen the fuck up, because you get to learn about how to please a woman in a little bit through this episode.
Yeah,
So honestly, like, straight guys, I feel like this would be great for you.
It really, really would, honestly, but women too. Like, because like,
I guess this is just me speaking for like my preferences.
No, no, and I feel like we'll definitely get into that more with like our future guests that we have coming up tomorrow, like more in depth of technique and stuff. But
I'm excited. I want to, because we touch on this in the episode. Just education and communication is so important. And I've like and I'm so happy, and I'm at a comfortable place within myself and with the partners I've been with, to kind of educate them and be like, hey, like, physically show them like, this is where my clit is. Like, and they've never like been shown that before. They've always just kind of been like guessing. And that's why it's just kind of been like, like, what are you doing down there? So I'm like, let me take it upon myself, do everybody a solid here, and the future partners to come, this is where the clit is. And I've like even gone as far to being like, no, stop that.
I'm really proud of you for doing
like,
that.
This is how many fingers I like. This is like how you do it. Like, just because like this is my sexual experience. It's like me also stepping into like being confident in my own like sexuality and preferences. To be like, this is a moment for me. Like,
no, I think that I'm really proud of you for doing that, because me, I'm just like, just stop. Just like, let's just do something else. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm good. Like, so I need to be more like, what are you doing?
Well, this is, it's because
it's more so with someone that you're super comfortable with as well. Yeah.
And it's just like, we touch on this, like, from my experiences, it's always felt, like the men's pleasure part of it, or like getting the guy off, has always been prioritized over like my little moment. I feel like my little moment has always been rushed and been like, oh, come on, like, you know, and it's always been about like the penetration from the guy. And so I just want to almost like take that power back, because I'm like, whoa, like, this is a moment for me too, buddy. Like, the fuck, like, it should be equal, if anything. And I've like recently had someone get me off. Sorry to any of my family members listening to this.
I really hope they're not.
Whatever, I don't fucking care. But I've had someone recently get me off and be like, you don't have to do anything to me. And I was just like, because I was like, well, oh my God, like, are you sure? And he was just like, yeah, I'm good. And I was like, wow, I really love that.
Yeah.
But I also like enjoy pleasing people. But in that moment, I was just like, wow, that's so cool that this moment was for me and about me. And like, you didn't need, you know what I mean? It was just like a different storyline that it's not usually the case.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even, my memory is so bad at this point with like all of that but I've never really, at first, whenever you said that you're like, it's usually rushed, I'm like, well, no, like the partner situation that I've had, I'm like, oh no, usually like they want to make sure that you get off first or whatever. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, I understand more of what you mean now, and I absolutely agree with you.
It's like they're like, come on.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not so much that. It's just that they don't want to put in 20 minutes of time to, which honestly, sometimes me either. But like, you know, like I don't really want to either, but yeah, okay, I really agree with that.
I think, I definitely think that it's almost like an unspoken assumption that it's going to be a lot faster to get the woman off, and like
through penetration.
And you spend so much time like doing things for the guy or doing things, you know, so trying to change that narrative. But I have recently been talking about the yin and the yang energy. The yin is the feminine energy, and then the yang is the masculine energy, which typically, especially like what you see in entertainment, the media, porn, it's very like masculine. It's very the yang, like fuck, like oh, let's fucking go, like, and it's never like this like soft, sensual like yin energy. And so even though yang can be very fun, I really want to experience more of this like yin feminine energy because it's more prioritizing that like deeper connection. It's not all about like I love aggression. It's like, don't get me wrong, but like let's throw in some yin, you know?
Yeah. I experienced that. I'm not there. I love when there's like that perfect balance, and I have experienced someone that has like that perfect balance of like feminine, but also like aggression, but also like I wasn't as into him as like I wish I would have been, because then that would have been wow, perfect. But no, I like experienced more feminine lately, and I'm really tired of it. I want the whole like alpha male situation.
Some animalistic.
Like, let's go, because I don't know, and I kind of finally got that like not too long ago, and so it was just like a whole other world, and he was like older than me, and
you've always been, from my knowing you've been with guys that are your age, and I've always dated older,
or like around my age, but this is the first time I've been with someone that's like way older, not way older, but like 9 years older than me, and it was great, and so I just was like, and also there's a vast difference in talking to a 30-year-old guy and then like a 39-year-old guy, or like a 40-year-old, you know what? I'm like, I wasn't even expecting that. I wasn't expecting to to talk to this person and be like, yeah, like I didn't think we had that much in common, but even just like the way they spoke and like their maturity level, I was like, I can get down with this. And then on top of like all the
yeah, dude,
it's great. I was like, I really needed this, because I'm very much, that's how I really connect with people through sex. And so it's not like, for me, it isn't about like getting off, or it's just about the energy and like connecting with someone in that way. And if we don't connect in that way, I cannot make it work. I just can't. And so with this guy, it was just good. It was just like a realization. I was like, this is what I want right now. It was just good, you know, because I've had the both, and when you can find a guy that has like both, it's like, wow. But
absolutely,
then like, anyway,
so
we'll update.
You guys, this is some cool stuff that I learned through my certified therapist, which I'm so happy to say that, because when she says that, I was like, but I was basically in therapy, and not to get like into too much detail, she was just saying like, why can't you have sexual experiences with platonic friends? And I was like, why can't you? Like, I mean, you can, friends with benefits, but like that term is so, I don't really like using that term, because I don't know. There's just like an idea of friends. I don't know. I just don't like using that term. And like, usually with friends with benefits, someone like is wanting more emotional things, and it can get messy. And so that's kind of like why I don't like using that. But she told me about that and recommended a book to me, and it was basically like an entryway to non-monogamy, or ethical non-monogamy. And I was so excited, because she was like a well-educated certified therapist that told me that. And I was like, it kind of just opened my perspective to be like, wow, you can have like sexual experiences with people that are friends, and like it doesn't have to
lead to anything.
It doesn't have to lead to anything. I mean, it can go there. Whatever happens, energy, X, Y, and Z. But yeah, she was like, your sexual experiences don't have to be limited to just romantic partners if you don't want them to be. And I was just like, wow. I was like, I'm kind of right. I'm there right now.
Yeah. And I love that for you, because it's interesting, because I only have one friend who I have that like relationship with, and it's like sporadic, and no one knows about it, and it's just like we will hook up, and then we're good, like we're like, and we're best, like we're not best friends, oh my god, I'm gonna give away this person, but like we're like really really good friends, and we don't even, it's just nothing, it's just it's just
it is what
that.
it is, and then like,
and it doesn't mean nothing, it does mean something,
and
but
it's nice
that.
It's nice because I love and trust this person so much, and like where I'm at right now in my life, like if I were to, I don't know, I'm just like thankful that I'm having these experiences with someone that I love and trust so much already, and that it's not weird at all. Like it's just like so cool. We have like a code word, and it's just like, all right. Like, and I was so excited to have my therapist back me up. I mean, I guess that's what they're paid to do in a way. But I was like, damn.
Well, no, they're not supposed to back you up.
But you know,
If
like
you're wrong,
they're on your team.
Yeah.
You know,
help you understand. Yeah, I know. I love this for you.
Any other updates with anything sex related?
I don't know, but I don't know. It's been a weird figuring, like having sexual experiences ever since becoming single has been so. I've learned so much about myself through this process, like more like what I like, that energy, because sex could be like fucking awful, but that energy with someone could be so incredible, or the sex could be, or the energy with that person could be like a little off, and then the sex makes it so incredible. And then you like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, it's just so different per person.
Sexual, you have energy. And then you have sexual chemistry.
Yeah.
And like with this one person that I've been like having these experiences with, we are both like, what in the actual fuck? Like you are the best person I've ever slept with. And we both feel that way. And it's just like our energy. I've never had somebody that is on the same sexual wavelength as me, and neither has he. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like, whoo.
That's... Yes, because I'm like experiencing that like now myself, and it's just like, but it's still like so new and like fresh. I'm like still like figuring it out, but it's like anyway, we could get into this a whole thing, but yeah.
We got some more sex stories coming up in our next episode, so stay tuned for that. I think that's enough of our
updates for now.
We got more coming your way.
Yeah, we got more, but for right now, we bring on Maggie, who's gonna educate us all on lesbian sex. So yeah,
it's good, y'all.
It's good. So all right, let's hop into it.
Oh, here we go.
All right, bye. Okay,
welcome back to the podcast, guys.
Yeah, hi. Today we have Maggie Wells on.
Hey y'all.
Maggie, what's up?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
I know it's weird to be on the other side of it because I'm usually hearing y'all in my ear because I've been listening to the podcast, so I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to listen to myself next time.
You have a good voice.
People literally think I'm from Australia sometimes because it's mostly here because like they don't know country accents, so they like can't place it, so they're like they think it's foreign.
People here.
I'm like, you know what? I will take it. I will choose Australia over Arkansas. So
I've gotten that a couple times too.
Yeah, I just
what?
Think,
really?
People that haven't been to like that area, they don't know what it is, so they think it's like out of America.
Only if they hear like a sentence. Yeah.
People here, I mean, they're like, you have a southern accent, and I'm like, I can't hear it.
I think kind of, but not really.
Thank you. And they're like, oh no, like
everyone outside listening to all three of our voices, like, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, okay. So we have Maggie on. Tell us
everybody.
Who are you?
Who am I mean, are we having therapy yet?
The life of Maggie. what are you going through?
My name's Maggie. I'm from Arkansas as well as these two ladies, and haven't really set it off at the level they have. Can't say that we all have, but we love these girls.
Motherfucker.
I'm from Arkansas. I moved to Denver like 2 years ago, as you know. But me and Lacey, actually, this is our first time meeting. So
yeah.
I really am introducing myself.
Tell me everything, baby.
Everything you need to know. But yeah, I moved to Denver, and then I feel like me and Stephanie got connected even more than we already were because we were both here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I work in communications.
Oh, wow.
I am queer, but that's not my profession, unfortunately. Maybe someday that will be like my whole profession.
How could you be a professional?
I mean, you could be. I mean, she's coming on to teach us about lesbian sex, so like she could be an educator, and she's already in communications. Girl, I just set you up.
Hold on, let me hit this one more time. I just did something right
for
there.
everybody listening. We're actually for the first time ever smoking weed while recording, so this is new.
Did I just spill the beans?
No.
Okay, good.
And we're also drinking, so this is like a whole nother obstacle.
I'm very flattered that this is the one that you chose. It's very on brand.
I've been smoking for the past like 20 minutes, so I'm like, y'all might have to just bear with me a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take the wheel.
Yeah, I'm the only reason you'll notice. Yeah, but anyway, okay, we wanted to bring Maggie on because I just have so many questions about lesbian sex, and
don't we all?
Honestly, yeah, I don't know anything about it. I mean, just from what you like scissoring, and that's literally all I've heard.
And when I brought that up, I brought that up to someone, and they're like, "Don't ask that." And here's this is the big reason why I just like stay away from topics like this in general, because I'm so afraid of asking the wrong thing, saying something that I don't know is offensive, and just like overall sounding like a dumbass. So I just like
we're always gonna run the risk of that in life. So just get over that fear, I would say. But like, I mean, everybody's different about all topics that are important and that you aren't educated on. But I think like no one's ever gonna understand if we don't talk about it. You know, like if it's not like you're an outsider, so like there's no need for you to know. It's like if we want everybody to be on the same like playing field, I feel like we should be happy to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, and your intentions are good. Like you're not like, what do lesbians do? Like, surely not. Like, you know,
we're genuinely curious.
Exactly. Like, y'all are open people, so you're like curious. Like, what are y'all doing? You know, I'm having sex. You're like, what are you doing? It's not the same as us.
Like, damn, bitch, get it. Let me know.
So no, I don't think it's offensive at all. I mean, everyone has different viewpoints, but I do think it's the intention. So like, you're not like trying to tokenize me, or specifically like straight men sometimes can like you know, sexualize lesbians and like for their gays versus like, which that's a whole thing with like, I'm not going to talk about porn today specifically, but like that's it's the number one topic searched on Pornhub apparently is lesbian. But it's like, it's not lesbians watching that, it's straight men, you know.
Well, because like, we heard that it's like that kind of like portrayal of lesbian sex isn't actually.
Oh, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is like, it's totally fine to ask, because like if you think that that's reality, like, I mean,
I literally can only picture that in my head. I don't know.
I'm not like a porn watcher, but
I'm not really
you're saying like lesbian porn is way different than like lesbian real sex?
I've only seen it a couple times. Like I don't really watch, hot take. I don't really watch porn. Like I don't know, but
hot take.
But when I have seen it, like it really. I mean, I'm sure some is, but like I know for like.
It's
in
good
general,
for men, straight men.
In general, it's usually produced by men, so it's like for the male gaze. So like just them to see two women get together, not like the actual scenario of that. So, I mean, I can't speak for all of it. So I'm sure some is accurate, but that's not like who it's made for. So it's not exactly. But there's a whole problem because like there's not enough representation on TV, movies. Like we're starting to get more, but it's like you can't even find like a good lesbian movie where you could at least see it there, like with a relationship or something, you know? So it's like, you basically do have to bring people on your podcast to just ask them. Because no other way.
Well, I mean, what's something that you've seen, movie, show, whatever, that is a somewhat accurate?
There's a handful of, well, do you know the L word?
I mean, I've heard of it. I mean, I've never seen it.
Cultural moment for lesbians. Although it's kind of problematic. Like it's from the early 2000s. So like their style is one problem. But another is just like, it's very like, I don't know, like it's just like a caricature in a way. Like they have like the typical like tomboy, like femme, like, you know what I mean? It's not like really accurate representation, but I mean it's also
like stereotypical.
It's like if one of your friends starts watching the L word, you need to watch them a little closely because they're probably about to come out. You know what I mean? Like we all had that moment where it's like, because like once you realize it's like you want to like see that mirrored, you know, in media the same way we've seen other like The Notebook, things like that, like typical, you know, like love stories. It's like the L word, as cheesy as it was sometimes, it was like the only time you got to see like two girls in a relationship on a TV show. Lesbian. That's what it stands for, yeah.
Oh.
You think it was love?
Yeah.
Girl, that's what we told our parents before we came out. I'm dead. So let's go with that. Yeah,
I was like, another show about love. Don't care. Like,
girl, the L word. That's like kind of the tea with it is like it's supposed to be like.
So it is more accurate.
Well, I was gonna say like from a sexual point of view, like that show is actually accurate. If you're, that could be your homework after this.
I might start looking where to find real.
That is a good point about like porn being made mainly and directed towards men. Maybe that's why I don't like it. It's just like not it for me. Like I would be maybe interested in seeing something directed by a woman. Oh yeah, you know, like it would be.
I'm sure there's like actual
I can imagine it would be a lot different.
That are based with that. You know what I mean?
I was gonna ask, is there like lesbian porn sites that you?
I don't know. Like Denver lesbians, plug this in the comments because I don't know. I really don't like watch it very often. Like no shade to that. I just have never.
Well, I have. Okay, well. one of my friends.
Stephanie does. No, I'm just kidding.
I had a friend who's a lesbian, and she said that when she watches porn, she watches straight porn. Yeah.
My mind's blown.
Yeah.
Why?
And I was like, why? And I cannot remember her answer now. So I feel like that would have been.
I should have written this down in the questions, but what does the word lesbian even stand for? Like, does it mean something? Is it coming
Like,
from...
it's an acronym, like,
Is it?
lesbian, eccentric.
No. Where did they get the word?
I don't know, actually. That would be a good
Is it like
fact
a Greek
to know.
word
Maybe
that
we should
means
Google that really
something?
quick.
Yeah, I'm interested.
We're
Stephanie, look it
We're
up.
Googling.
Yeah, that is interesting. The only thing I'll say too about, and I don't know a ton, but just like general things I've heard from people I know too, like a lot of straight girls I know actually watch lesbian porn, but I think it's literally because it's just like, as you can see, like even with straight porn, it's like guys directing it, so it's kind of like not the emotional, like
Yeah.
I don't think
us
the word
actually
comes
receiving
from anything.
anything. You know?
Who the
Oh,
fuck
God.
made that word up?
Yeah, that
then?
didn't just
what
like
the
pop in
fuck?
someone's head. Like,
Not right now.
yeah, maybe
like,
we'll
not.
plug the definition later. in a
Wait,
post.
that'll be Denver lesbians do that plug as well. If anyone knows the answer to that, but
I
yeah.
don't think so.
Educate
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, educate us. Okay, well, obviously we brought you on to educate us. And I guess to kind of get it going, when did you
Come
know?
out? Like, when'd you
When'd you
know?
know? When'd you come out?
Yeah.
Your come out story.
And in Arkansas.
I know. It's interesting. Like I was naive because I thought like I've always been a huge ally, like, which I don't think like just because you're supportive and, you know, into the gays, like they're stunning, that you're gay, you know what I mean?
stunning.
So
Yeah.
like, but that was always me. So like looking back now, I'm like, LOL, like I was getting a little too into that Macklemore song. What is it? I can't change. I'm like, you're getting a little too into that, man. This is fruity.
Even if
But like, you know, like it's like obviously people, you know, we want them to support us. So it's like there's like a fine line between you're a little too strong of an ally, that situation. But basically that was me my whole life. And then honestly, I had no idea until I like met a girl at a party that I like was like, it's hard to me imagine like liking a guy. But back in the day, like, you know, like when you have a crush, you're like, you meet him at a party and then you're like, I need to like find a way to be over there where they're talking so that we can talk again. Like just like the crush feeling, you know what I mean? Like, and
Energy.
So
it was
wait,
like,
how old are you?
I was 19. So I was like, it was so, you know, Kirby Westmoreland. It was at his birthday party, like in Fayetteville. It was like when I was like not really wanting to hang out with sorority vibes anymore because I was in a sorority in college. So I was like, found like our Arkansas crew, like that they all lived in Fayetteville. And so anyway, I went to his party and I was like, why am I like wanting to follow this girl around? Maybe I just want to be her bestie. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Like, it's like weird, but I could like tell. I mean, I knew myself, you know, it's like, I think she's attractive. Like, this is weird, but that is seriously like the first time. I didn't ever like have this thing that like suppressed. I mean, like, I definitely look back now and like try to find clues and stuff, but like literally that was the first time. But
Wow.
I don't know. I've always like I've also like was never that interested in guys anyways. Like, but at the same time, that's another fine line because there's always the girl like in the friend group, like in college, in high school, that's like, I don't care about boys as much, like, you know, like that doesn't mean they're gay either. So it's just like a lot of nuances, you know, but like that was always me. I was like, I had a few guys I liked, but I never had a real boyfriend or anything. So I think they got on my nerves or something. Sorry. Hey, your producer. No, yeah, I just never like could get there emotionally, I think. Like,
Okay.
just wasn't in depth enough. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely first time I dated a girl, I'm like, a whole new like it definitely was, I'm sure it's like what straight people experience with, you know, you would with a guy. But like, yeah, I just couldn't ever like see that with a guy. But I didn't realize that that was probably because I'm queer until I was like put in the position to notice that, you know. And that's what I'll say about Arkansas too, is like it's the lack of representation. Like I don't think I ever knew a lesbian in high school unless they, you know, were out or whatever. So like I think if I had met a tomboy like I have a type and we can get into that. But like I think if I had seen like a girl that was my type in high school, definitely something would have clicked in me because the guys weren't hitting, and then like like they definitely, that hits for me now. So I just feel like and I've always like been very like true to myself, like not very ashamed. I'm always like, I'm glad my parents were accepting, because if they weren't, it wouldn't be a good day for us. Like I was just like, and it's different for everybody, but that's just how I am. So like, yeah. Anyway,
did that scare you at first?
Oh yes. I mean, I like lived with my best friends from like growing up in college too. So like we know each other forever, and so like obviously trusted them, but I was like you have to like come out to yourself first because you're like,
absolutely.
is this just a phase? Like I haven't dated anyone in a while. Like maybe I'm just
let me figure it out.
Yeah, maybe I'm just really fiending. You know what I mean? Like to the point where I'm looking for another gender at this point. Like, but no, like after like a few weeks, I'm like, no, this is like a real thing that I'm like exploring. So it took me a couple of months to like actually tell my friends, but it was just because like I didn't want it to be a phase or whatever I thought it could be, and like then just like come out and then be like, wait, I don't know, never mind. So,
did you ever get with that girl?
Yes, we dated.
Oh wow, that's intuitive energy right there.
Wait, so was she?
So literally, yeah. I mean, like you can add this to your notes. I was gonna say it's another thing. It's like a stereotype that lesbians move really quickly because like we think about it. I had not ever had a real relationship before, and then I find out I like a girl overnight, and then we were like dating within a month. So I'm like, what? Like whirlwind of like, who am I?
Yeah, wow.
Was she? Was she already like? She was already.
Yeah, she was already out. And
Okay.
everything. So that I think that helped too, because like if it was just like another straight girl or whatever, like feminine too, like I feel like we'd just be like, oh, we just want to be besties. Like,
was it weird telling her like, oh, I think I'm into women?
I mean, I think that she knew like that I liked her back, but she also could. I don't know if she could tell that I had never dated a girl before either. But I mean, it wasn't as hard because she was already out, so it was more so like her helping me, I guess. You know, like for me, I was just like more comfortable telling her versus like other people because she was already gay. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I just didn't know.
I'm literally like zoning back to like 19-year-old me. It was like interesting, but
did she like help teach you like the ropes?
Or did
it was a long distance relationship after like she moved out of town a couple months after, so like it was a long distance relationship, so I mean there wasn't a ton of it to be had, I should say, and we only dated like a year, so it wasn't like very long, but yeah, I mean that was, but the thing that makes it interesting too is like I had not had sex with a guy before yet either.
What?
Wait, what? I have to teach y'all a term really quick.
Oh my God.
So it's called a gold star lesbian if they've never had sex with a guy, then they have sex with a girl. But the reason I'm not a gold star lesbian is because I had sex with a guy after that relationship.
Oh,
so
you
like
lost
I always say I'm a bronze, you know what I mean? 'Cause at one point I was gold and then it just got rough around the edges. Like, sorry. Maybe silver, if you will.
Are you open to dating men or hooking up with men, or just straight women now?
Well, it's
not like straight women, but like you just only date.
Hey, there's
women.
some lesbians who really like straight women. That's never been me though.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Straight. I wouldn't call it straight if they're like. You know,
I feel like everyone's like bi.
Oh, the conclusion to the show is that everyone's a lesbian.
Dude, the reason we're having this episode is because we're fucking curious. That says a little bit of something.
Bi-curious is a term, just in case y'all need to know.
Term number 2.
Put it on your hinge, girl.
I mean, like you said, like men can be fucking annoying, and like when it comes to sex, it's like, come on, dude, get it right. And
hey, I'm not here to say that like lesbian relationships are a walk in the park, you know what I mean? Or like just
that's
even
two women,
not relationship, but like community, like people, you know, it's like, oh, I never want to date a guy, but it definitely has its differences. So. But it just never hit for me. So I mean,
well, how was it coming out in Arkansas to your parents?
I feel like y'all asked me a question. I can't remember what it was now. Before
we asked you like 15.
3 sub questions.
Yeah. It's like A,
she
B,
showed
and
me
then
the
bullet
ropes.
points.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get into the ropes later.
Yeah, we'll get into the ropes.
What did you just ask?
How was it coming out with your parents? Like you know, like.
Oh yeah. So we dated for like a few months, and then like I came to visit her where she lived, and so it was like, okay, like my mom's probably like, they're getting really close, like she's just met her and she's wanting to like fly across the country, you know what I mean? Like I mean, me and my mom are really close. I just feel like the thing is I had never given them signs before where I was like, you know, if they have like a kid who a little fruity growing up, I also think it's a little bit easier with guys sometimes, because it's just more like obvious that you're not being masculine like half the time, you know, whereas girls it's like you can be a tomboy but you can't be like a feminine guy, which I believe that straight men, you know, Harry Styles, shout out, not that he's fully straight, but my point is like you can have like a fluid personality and style and still be straight.
Dude, that fluidity is kind of sexy.
It
really
hits.
is.
That's what I'm saying, which I'm like, add this to the list. Like, because I was saying I've had sex with guys before too, so it's like there's definitely like fluidity between like gay or straight or whatever. But I forget what I was saying. I just lost my train of thought.
Coming out in Arkansas with your mom and your parents.
Oh, well, I was just going to, with her, like, a few months later, I was like, basically, it was just really weird. Like, I didn't have a plan. I was just like, obviously, this isn't a phase. Like, I need to, like, tell them. Because not only do I want to tell them I'm gay, but also I'm in a serious relationship. So, like, well, serious a few months later, but for lesbians, that's serious. No, but I was like, I should probably tell them because this isn't going anywhere, I think, because we're dating. So anyway, my mom was like texting me one day, like just being really sweet, like, you're such a good daughter, like, I just love you so much, all this stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna have to drop it now because she's gonna have to keep that energy, you know? Yeah. So I was like, would you still feel that way if I was dating a girl? And she and I had a feeling like she probably had added some stuff up too, you know? And she was like, yeah, I would love you no matter what. Like, it's unconditional.
Wow.
Like, yeah, which I'm so privileged to have that. Like, that's not majority of the experience for people. Like, I wish it was because it's literally how it should be, but it's just not. So then I was like, I think I was like nervous and I was like, can you tell Dad? Like, why you just forward the message? Yeah. And then he texted me like a few hours later or something and was like, I got Mom's message, like, I love you no matter what, like, you're my girl.
My God.
Like, yeah, I'm like, why are parents obsessed with what genitals you're touching? Like, that's all it comes down to. You should be thinking about it regardless, so it shouldn't matter. But anyway, yeah, I'm really lucky because they've just been like amazing from day one, and like, they didn't even have the like knowing about it for years and then just expecting me to say it at some point. It was literally like, I surprised myself, so I know y'all are surprised. Like, so it was interesting dynamic, but definitely like the best it could be, you know. So
damn, I just had the like, I felt like I was about to tear up. I loved that.
I know. I've been like, you're on TikTok, I know, but there's like trends and stuff. What's that one song? It's like slipping through my fingers. Yeah, it's like they're putting like sweet like stuff that their parents do. So it's like I need to find like those screenshots and like put it like with how I came out or whatever. But yeah, it was really sweet and they're awesome. Like, they're obsessed with my girlfriend now, and like I came home for Christmas with her and stuff, and like they got her gifts and everything. Like, they're just
that'll totally be me as a parent.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Just love is love, dude. Like, love is amazing.
Yeah. Well, our parents don't care about any of that, so
I don't know how
my dad
I think my parents would like get on board.
My dad didn't talk to me because I was vegan.
There's a lot to unpack there.
So
There's a lot going on internally.
I will say too, like, I can't speak for everybody, but I will say, like, I think that some people sometimes have to know somebody or like, you know, be in their circle to sometimes like humanize it, as sad and like pathetic as that is. But in a way, like, I'm sure some of my friends probably like, I don't think they have any other gay friends or whatever. And so like, I feel like they understand it a little bit more just because of me coming out, you know what I mean? And like, maybe they're more open to it on like a bigger scale, like from like social issues or whatever, like laws, you know what I mean? Because they know somebody, like, which it shouldn't have to be that way. You shouldn't have to like have someone in your life to like empathize. But I will say, like, sometimes families end up surprising you because they love you already, you know, but that's also not the case for a lot of people. So it just depends, but
yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
You know.
Okay. Well,
I know. I wish like there's no sob story. Fortunately, there's not. You know, like usually that's the case, but that's definitely helped my journey. You know, like it wouldn't be as easy and like flow as well. I think, and me be confident if I didn't have that in my life. So
how's it been? How's the gay scene in? Or do you say gay if it's lesbian though?
Yeah.
Queer?
Do we have terms on there? Because we can explore that if you want.
You want to go over the vocabulary real quick?
Maybe that will help
well,
too. We can keep going with the flow.
No. Let's go. Let's
all I'll
these
say
terms.
is the Denver gay scene is stunning. I mean, for me.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, how is it here versus, how's it dating here versus
I will
Arkansas?
say, I've heard people that live here for a while or whatever, like gay and been here for a while, like, it's like there's nothing going on. It's boring. Like, we've been these same places over and over again. But like, we have to read the room and realize, like, I came from Arkansas. There's one gay club in Fayetteville where I used to live, and it's 18 and up, so it's so stunning. Like, we love going there because it still has that vibe. It's called wait, what is it called?
Is it not there anymore?
I just can't remember because like I've literally been to Fayetteville like twice.
You can't remember the name of this bar.
Also hit the joint, so maybe I'm forgetting.
Oh yeah.
What was it called?
Is this in Arkansas?
Yeah, it's in Fayetteville, but it's 18 and up though, so like it's not necessarily just for, you know what I mean? Like, it was aimed for that, but it's like kind of younger, just straight people that want to come out. Another
plug.
Too, so yeah. Plug. I mean, it's a lovely place. Like I recommend, but I can't remember. Maybe I'll just think of it in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah, just blurt it out.
We didn't. That wasn't like my go-to place though in Arkansas. We like went to like the divey bars, but
so it's better here versus
all that to
Arkansas.
say, yeah, literally like a half of a gay bar, now I have like all these options and stuff too. So,
Damn.
and there's like drag scene, like, you know, I had some friends who like used to do drag in Fayetteville, and it was kind of like you needed like more options. But I hope that like Fayetteville keeps boosting. I mean, y'all have been there plenty of times, I'm sure. I don't know about you, Lacey, but it's like, it's definitely like growing, and I think it's going to end up being like a better hub for that community specifically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like very artistic down there.
I feel like it could be a mini Austin.
Yes, that's kind of where keep Fayetteville weird, funky.
Yeah,
It's funky.
it's
Yeah.
heading in that direction for sure. Yeah, someone was like, "Do you think that Little Rock will ever be like Austin?" And I was like, "I don't think so."
Y'all are missing the yeehaw realness and the like openness. Let's start on
The
those two
yeehaw
first,
realness.
and then we can talk about Austin. Lord.
Okay. What was your first experience with a man?
Hold on.
Or wait, or like how was
should we
it
do
versus a
woman first? Yeah. What was your first experience with a man and woman?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
what was it like? Like,
Yeah.
you walk through the
Just
routine,
kinda
like the
like,
choreography?
comparing.
Just like how you felt
yeah.
emotionally.
Yes. Well, I will say they're two totally, that makes it different too, because I mean, this can apply with two different guys, like one that you're seriously in a relationship with, like your first love, you know what I mean? And then there's a random guy that like
rando.
you're just,
Oh, yeah.
you're bored, you know? So like, no offense if you're listening. But yeah, that was a difference. So I will say that's going to make it sound more extreme, which I will, but personally, I've never had like an amazing situation with a guy either. So like, again, that's just could be just because I'm gay, but I didn't have a great guy picker either because I didn't know what I was doing. So, but yeah, with the girl, it was that relationship I was talking about. Like first time I'd even done anything like more than just like, you know, making out or whatever.
Yeah.
Some other thing. So that was high school. Anyways, and so like that just made it a bigger like intimate emotional deal and stuff. And like, yeah, she kind of like walked me through it, I guess, a little bit. But like again, because I had never like had sex with a guy, it's not like I even knew like the foreplay, like the getting into it. So it was like definitely like a brand new experience for me. But I mean, I also like was really like having my first like in love feelings.
Yeah.
And now that I'm almost 27, like I look back and I'm like, that wasn't really like that intense, but it was for me at the time.
For
you know what I
sure.
mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I don't feel like I was in love, but I was in love with the fact that I was like having feelings for someone and like being vulnerable and having a relationship, and also realizing I liked women. So it was like,
it was
how
a
could you
huge
not
point
be
in your
like
life? Yeah.
obsessed with that situation, you know?
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
yeah.
But that, and then with the guy, it was literally just a random frat guy.
Oh my god.
You're like, that'll make you go gay quickly. I mean, he wasn't that
so
bad for
funny.
a frat guy, I'll say. Like, he was like still more like liberal, you know what I mean? Like we had to go that way, but like definitely was not gonna
there's
date
that.
him. Like it was just
Did he know that you were into women as well? Or just into
yeah,
women?
and you know what? I'm about to throw shade.
Throw some motherfucking
No, because that just
shade.
reminded me of something. But I'll finish with the experience because it wasn't. There's not much to say. But like, yeah, I think I did like mention to him too. I was like that it was like my first time or something like with a guy. I didn't say first
Oh
time
my
having
God, he was probably
sex.
like, what the
Well, but he knew I had dated girls, so I think he was like thought I was ready to clown or something. I'm like, well, we didn't have those little things. Like,
Those little
what I
things.
call them, naked mole rats. I'm like, I've never seen that. So anyways, yeah, I think he was a little bit thrown off of like, oh wow, like I'm like taking her virginity. He probably thought like in that way,
Yeah.
I guess, like with
Yeah.
that part.
Well, I
But,
guess
like,
because we're raised to think that taking virginity is with a man and woman, so I didn't even think about
Yeah.
well, I think also like it's just more associated with like
Christianity and all
yeah,
that
and like
stuff.
a penis,
Well, I mean,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
Dude, people in high school used to have anal sex
To
like,
avoid, people
to-
still do that.
Oh,
to
yes, I remember
avoid
that.
like
They
losing their
say doing
virginity due
everything
to
but-
religion.
This is a peek into Arkansas. Yeah, it's like literally they say I do everything, but I'm like emphasis on the but. In summary, it was fine, I guess, but I just
Not satisfied.
it was like okay, like I don't know. I mean, if we want to get straight to the point, I'd never had an orgasm with a guy, like so. I mean, that definitely played into things, but like I didn't know any different, so I was like, maybe this is all, you know what I mean? Like it feels fine, I guess. So I guess that's what sex is, and maybe I just don't like it as much with guys, but like you can still be bisexual and like have a preference in one or the other, you know what I mean? Like sometimes people think that means like half of you like guys half the time, you like girls half the time, and it's like you can literally be 90-10, you know what I mean? Like but you still like both genders, so like or the male and female gender, so like then yeah. But that's another thing with terminology. Don't forget that subject, because that's the part that's like I feel like sometimes people have misconceptions on. I'm like, there's like the bisexuality versus pansexuality conversation of like gender norms and all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting. I've had like my own little exploration of that because like of all of that, you know, like not dating, but you know, going on dates with guys after girls and being like, okay, like, well, am I bi? Like,
what does this mean?
Well, how many men? Can I ask how many?
Wait,
men
let me throw the shade at the chat.
Oh, wait, you getting back to
well,
the shade.
it summarizes what you were gonna ask of like, do they see you differently because you like date girls or whatever?
Yeah.
I found this out years later. It's hilarious, but yes, he had known that I had dated a girl, so I think he had that context, whatever. But I guess he quickly found out like I hadn't had sex with a guy, so I'm sure he was like feeling himself with that. And confirmed, because I heard a few years ago he was saying he like brought it up to someone that like he made me bi, like he like I guess he thought I was lesbian before, and his dick made me bi. And I'm like, I hate to tell you, sir, but I'm actually just a full-blown lesbian now.
There goes his ego.
Like, because of the lack of stunning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a nice guy and all.
Be
but
like, actually,
let's pipe it down a
you
little.
made
Okay?
me
Yeah.
very
I
into
would want to
women.
bring that up because it's quite the opposite.
Who would? It's so stupid.
wow.
It's just stupid to say it.
They're
in
crazy.
general.
I didn't like. I had never heard. I just heard through other people that he was saying that. I was like, you know what? If that gives him a little joy, we're just gonna give it to him.
I mean, all I know about this person is he's a frat boy, and from my idea of frat boys in my head, that sounds like
Actually, that sounds
exactly
very
what he would
on
say.
brand.
the power he holds.
Well, how many men have you been with? Just one?
I think like 3. I want to say. I think it was 2 because I hooked up with this other guy, but we never like. I don't think we went all the way there. It's kind of maybe I blocked it out. Who knows? But yeah, no, I think just a couple. There was just 2,
Okay.
and then like there was other guys like I hooked up with, you know, but we didn't like,
Yeah.
have sex. So, but yeah, it was like interesting because I think what else played into it is like Arkansas didn't have like a dating pool of girls really either. So like it's not like after that relationship ended. And I knew I was interested in women, I could be like, okay, well, let me like keep exploring women and like see. It's like, well, the only lesbian in town just hit the road, so like I don't know where else to look.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah, but I had also like tapped into my sexuality in general. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I hadn't even really hooked up with anyone since
Right.
like a little bit in high school. Like, so I was just like, I'm trying to fuck. You know what I mean? So like, I think I was like still like exploring guys too, because I was like, just because that was the first person I've even had feelings for, it doesn't necessarily mean I only like women. It
Right.
just was the
Oh,
first,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you're just trying to figure it out.
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
any human
And
should.
that's why
yeah.
I don't like, it's not like I joke about it, but like I don't actually regret or like I'm grossed out or whatever about those experiences, because like it definitely was just like part of me figuring out, just like everybody
Right.
else. Like even if you're just fully straight, you kind of have to like, you know, taste the
Let me
flavors,
see,
which
yeah,
one, you
yeah,
know, like
flavor you
what
like.
if we don't even know?
the way
That's
y'all
what I'm
don't
saying.
know.
I
honey.
mean, I don't know, but I'm just like, the fact that I'm curious about this, I'm like, hold on, why am I curious about this?
Tea.
Yeah.
Girls.
Well, I had said to one of my lesbian friends before, I was just like, I don't enjoy when a guy goes down on me because I've
Me
never been
neither.
able to find
Scratch
someone
the
that's
cameras.
good.
We're going to commercial. No, hold on. That's a problem, ma'am.
I know,
because
like
it
I've
hits.
never. It's only been one guy
not
that I've enjoyed it.
Right.
And
well, I mean, I get that. Like that's all. I will say, like that's why women, I think, are better at it,
Yeah.
because it's our body. Like it's the same body that we have.
Yeah.
So we have like this instinct of what it wants
What-
and needs. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So like that was definitely I will say my takeaway from like first time with a girl, just in general. I was like, you'd think like I'm like, oh my god, I've never even had sex, and now it's like with a girl, like what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
But it actually wasn't like this weird experience. I think like it was with a guy, because I like knew what was going on down there. Like you know what I mean? And it was
And she
like
knew, yeah.
So that's definitely a plus side. So
yeah, well, I
back to
said to her, I was like,
back to your lackluster experience.
I was like, yeah, I don't really even like it. And she was like, that's because you've never been with a woman. And I was like, God damn.
I have a couple thoughts. So first, you mentioned that you've never orgasmed with a man, and I've been talking about this recently, that it's not really like portrayed, especially if you're younger and like you're seeing things in TV shows and movies, like you just see like penetration and then you're like, oh, and you don't see like any pleasure for the
foreplay
women.
or
So
anything,
like
yeah.
people don't know like generally what to
Stephanie
do.
gets it. She's just like giggling.
But also, but also like literally I'm 24. My most recent boyfriend was 28. And I And it's like education for sure. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that I was comfortable enough to do this. I literally got on top of him and was like, pulled my coochie up, and I was like, this is
Not pulled it up. She said, pull it to the side, get into it.
I was like, look, this is where the clit is.
Oh my God, y'all, I can't. This is dating straight.
I was like,
Hey, but you know
this is
what?
where it is.
I will say that's an overarching experience. Like, you have to like communicate. You know what I mean? And
he would never know. He was like, I didn't know, and I was like, okay,
that
here we
also
go.
just speaks to like our sex education.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
we'll
Like
get to that.
It's not necessarily a straight guy problem, but I mean like that literally is like they do have to. That's something when you're straight and you're two different parts and all this stuff. You know what I mean? You kind of have to like go out of your way to understand what the other person
Right.
needs. Like whereas with a woman, it's just a little bit more understandable because
Right.
you have it. But like absolutely, like I mean, I didn't know what that y'all. Let me just say, I do not like blowjobs. I would do everything I could to avoid. I'd be like, you're just gonna have to get it up without me touching anything because it's just not happening. Period. Like
You just got to figure it out.
yeah. But see, that would never work because as funny as that is, like that would not be fair. Like if I was with a guy, you know what I mean? Like imagine if a guy was like, I'm not touching that thing. Get out the door. So like I don't blame them for being upset. My point is like that would never work because you do have to have that empathy for the other person because it's not always like easy.
Yeah, I mean, he's just more educated now. I hope the women like
The way you paved the way for the future girls. If you're listening, you could send her a DM and say thank you. Because he knows what he's doing.
You're welcome, babe.
I'm screaming.
I mean, okay, so then what is considered lesbian sex?
The question we all have to know. And well, I will say that plays into like people being like, oh, like the virginity part because like they don't really know what's considered sex. You know what I mean? Like with a girl, but that's a question that like there's not exactly one answer to. Like everybody sees it differently. I think it's more of like a feeling, I guess, like of like some people might consider like just fingering, you know, like that's all you need to do. Some people are like, no, I need to be like completely naked, like we're eating each other out. Like, sorry, I'm getting into it, but you know what I mean? Like, so it's not as like black and white as penetration with a penis, but like,
So it's different for everybody.
yeah, but I would say like in general, like it's what you imagine. Like, I know you're both like fingering each other and like going down on each other and sucking on places. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of the whole experience, except literally just not a dick. And like, best believe you could penetrate without a dick. Like,
Okay.
the fingers can do some things, honey, and I do mean plural.
Fingers.
So like, yeah, not him.
Honestly,
Sorry,
I feel like guys need to almost like educate themselves on
Okay.
lesbian sex because like women know how to pleasure women.
I
Can
wanna
teach
get
that.
into
Is this
this.
my calling, Lacey?
Men, straight men. If
Is
you're
this the
fucking
communication?
Absolutely.
I think I have to start doing like seminars for straight men. Why he the first?
I want to get into this because, okay, my friend, I'm not going to say his name. Me and him are like best friends. We talk often about like relationships and stuff. And he was really, really into this girl and they had an amazing, but she was just like not wanting to commit, whatever, because she's about to move. And they have amazing sexual chemistry. And he wanted to try to like win her and make her like commit by, which is whatever, but by like getting better at sex. So he spent like a week researching and like learning. He was like, it's not just about like wanting to have sex. Like you guys need to have the right, like be in the right mood. Like you need like temperature,
Yeah.
like you need to be relaxed. Like, well, I mean, whatever. He watched all these videos.
The friend? He wasn't even in the relationship?
No.
He was trying to educate himself enough.
For this girl.
To get her to, okay.
Yeah. And he was like, you know, it's also like about fingers and like all these things. And he, it's so embarrassing, but he applied all these things to their next like
The way they're married now.
No, well, no, but like she like squirted for the first time because of all these.
Into that. I want to know how people do that.
I do too.
Drop that in the comments.
But he made her do that for the first time ever by these tricks and
Actually,
stuff, by
no.
researching.
I mean, it's literally that. Like,
because men are just looking at porn to learn how to get good at
well,
sex.
and they just
like,
think,
and that's not
they
it.
literally just think, I'm hard, I'm putting it inside her, and that's it. Like,
Yep.
it's like, okay, for us, it's like not just the hoe. Like, there's like more going
There's,
on.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
there's
Like,
so much more.
but that's why I'll say, like, with lesbian sex, like, it's, you know, at first when people think, they're like, okay, well, like, with straight people, like, that's kind of just like the hooking up, like, foreplay part until we have sex, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like, we're like touching the clit and like having an orgasm in 3 minutes because we actually know like that it's not just the penetrate. I mean, some people like come from that too, but I just mean like it's more thinking about the strategy of how do you make a woman come, because we're a woman as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and men also, aside from just being trash sometimes, like they actually have like instinctual, like they're just more sexual in that way. I think in general. So like, I think it's just more like animalistic. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Where like women, I think, analyze a little bit more. So
or more emotional.
Yeah. It's an experience, and guys almost like just lead with their horniness. And women almost can lead from like connection.
I want to know if he has comments.
Dude, I literally told my last boyfriend, I was like, I think this is more pleasurable for you. Yeah. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. You're just like,
okay, there's more to that.
There's way
you
more to
didn't
that.
really like him. I feel like,
that definitely doesn't help. Yeah.
If you were really into this guy, it would have been.
Our
you
sexual
gave him a full-blown lesson, and
you sat on top of him and diagrammed
you used
everything.
Toys, right? Because I saw you had the one you sponsor.
Yeah, but
I'm like, those hit, right?
Toys made him a little uncomfortable. He wanted to try, which after therapy.
My
but also, dude, listen to this. This is going to be a whole episode. It's always making me uncomfortable. No, but listen,
so much.
Sex was like really weird in our relationship for a very long time. Like really weird. It's making me uncomfortable because.
Oh, you don't have to get into it.
No, I mean, but this one time he was over and he was like, "Oh, so you used your vibrator this week?" And I was like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" And he was like, "It's not in the same place as it was last time."
Okay, if you're stalking my vibrator that hard, why don't you just learn what you're doing?
He was just like took offense to being like, oh, so you want to use your vibrator and not me?
Okay, first of all, people can use their vibrator even if you're
absolutely.
Getting you know
you can use it during.
But also, if you're that insecure, you're projecting on the fact that you don't know. You're not giving her what she needs.
Yeah.
Like, so get into it. Like, don't take it out on the vibrator. Why don't you just take some lessons?
Dude, I've been with a guy that we just have amazing sexual chemistry and
now?
like
right now. Stunning. Breaking news. The Lacey fans hate to hear it. You gotta let your fan base know you're single. So
the tea's been single.
I'm single,
right?
But things have been happening.
Okay, good. Finally, because after this full-blown lesson, the vibrating stalky, I'm over him. Although he seems like a good guy.
No.
I've heard the whole journey. Well, he's not a good guy.
I mean, he's okay.
He's not like an evil person.
No, he has good intentions, but just things need to change.
There's a lot of insecurities that are protected.
Sexually.
I forget the quote, but I heard it recently. It was like, a toy should be like your companion in a relationship, or even sexual relationship. It's not the enemy. It's supposed to involve.
I dated a guy that
you.
was like, if you use one, I'm gonna break up with you.
Fuck
that is being so insecure.
So insecure.
You should be turned on that your partner is getting turned on, even if it's not from you. Like,
and
you could actually be handling the toy, but instead you're just over there insecure about it.
This one person like saw my vibrator because I'm pretty open. I was like, oh yeah, there's all my vibrators, there's all my little toys. And he admitted, he was like, when I first like saw that, he was like, I was very intimidated by that because I thought you were like very into that, very sexual. And I was like, I'm just
sorry that there's just a lot to unpack. Like, they should not be intimidated that women are interested in their own
sexuality,
like, pleasure. Like,
absolutely.
I know you're jacking off every day since 8th grade, so what's the drama?
Yeah, I don't need you.
I'm not playing
what's
with
the drama?
But literally, like, it's like, but girl, I'm sure y'all understand. Like, but me and my friends never talked about masturbation growing up. Like,
oh no,
I don't think I talked about that till like in my early 20s at all. Like, it just wasn't, I don't know if Arkansas, added to that of like mostly religious upbringing and stuff, but like, I mean, even guys, religious, whatever, like, are taught, I think, by their parents of like, you're going through puberty, like, you may like need to get it off or what, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I've never been involved in those conversations, but I just imagine because it's more obvious with guys, but like, I don't think as girls we were talked about that growing up at all. Like, so I didn't really know anything till my first toy either too. Like, I didn't like touch myself or anything like that. I like
remember,
literally,
like, I remember feeling like that. Like, I remember like just like wearing something and be like, wait, this feels
when the jeans
good.
hitting in the right spot.
I was like, wait, what is
You're like shifting a little bit.
Mine was the pool jet.
The pool jets. We love a classic. Stephanie, don't act confused.
No, I was like, I don't know which came first, that situation or the jeans.
My friend was
which came first, the chicken or the egg? The jeans or the jet?
Yeah, my friend was like, her like first experience was like the arm of the couch, being like, what?
hold on.
No, yes.
The mom's like, hold on, seeing her around the corner.
No, yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's me.
I know. There's like, I've seen like TikToks being like, you remember when it's like a flash of all of those. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even like realize that at the time. But now that I'm older, I'm like, those were hitting.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, what were we talking about? Were you finished telling the story of the awful person?
I think we need to get off of me
okay,
for a second.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about.
You asked
let's
what
talk
was
about
considered
sex.
So
Let's talk about sex, baby.
I think the most popular thing that most people baseline want to know is scissoring.
I was going like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because I know you said your friend was like, don't talk about that or whatever, but like, it's interesting because there's like, at least, and I, again, do want to have a like PSA. I'm not the spokesperson for all lesbians. I'm literally a cis white lesbian who has accepting parents. Like, I'm not the typical experience. I don't want to be like the end all be all for your education on that because you know,
disclaimer.
like it's only one journey that I've had, and I've definitely like I'm cis. Like I don't have to deal with necessarily. I don't have like anything with my gender that isn't what it's always been. So like that hasn't been part of my queer journey either, which adds like a layer of discovery and everything. But yeah, I think like, what do you ask?
About
Scissoring.
Is that
I know,
like,
I just went down a trail. So I was gonna say like people either say, oh my God, that's a like, you know, straight people just like think that that's all women do is just this because they like don't have a penis involved.
But is that even like pleasuring?
No, but okay, so I'm saying like for a while I was like, oh, that's not a thing. Like it's not a thing, but actually the tea is that is a thing, but it's not what people imagine. Like people literally just imagine it's like that, like bang your coochies against each other, like if that's hurtful, you know what I mean? Like, but I actually think I've seen on TikTok there's a term for it that's called stimming. Maybe we should add that to our look up the definition later. Okay. But it's the same concept, but it's basically like you like rub your clit against each other, like both of your clits against each other.
Do you have to have your legs like that?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not like, okay, we're
like
going to get in position
think.
here.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I mean, I'm only speaking from experience. Also, shout out to my girlfriend. She was like, how much are you going in depth there? But this is just from in general. It's not just us. Like, I think, like, other women experience it, too. Like, we didn't invent it. But, like, yeah, I mean, I think the more flexible person, like, has to, like, be, you know, on top or whatever. Like, positioning to where they're, like, touching each other.
Wait, so how are you...
Okay, so
is it
not
just
me like doing a choreo on the camera, but basically like someone's laying down and the other one is like sitting on top of, and then like the thing with the legs that I would say is like kind of what in my head is like that is scissoring, but it's like it's not what people like think scissoring is, you know, but in a way it is because like your legs like over them and then like you're oh my God, not me like think you have to get on the ground to explain it.
Is someone doing a split?
Kind of like one leg is like my knee is up and then like my other leg is out so that I can like sit it on top of hers and then like grind.
Oh,
so yeah, it's basically like you're just like touching your clits against each other and then
I mean it would be. I'm imagining what it's like similar to me being on top of a man.
Yeah, basically, but I know the legs get complicated because it's like it's not just like on your knees because you have to like. So you basically have to like put a leg out. So in a way it kind of is because your legs are like tangled up a bit.
Okay. Wow.
Actually, sometimes you really do this. If
so
you can
how common is that?
To, like, it's not like bang, bang. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we have to be strategic.
Right.
Because it's either not pleasurable at all because it's like, what the fuck? Or when it hits, it hits. You know what I mean? You have to get in the right position. So I would say in my experience, that's a hit or miss. That's either like everything, you know what I mean, like the best it could be, or it's just not hitting right now. Like we're not in the right vibe.
Is that your preferred way? Like what is your preferred way?
I would say that's not my like I was saying, like when it happens and then it's like we're getting in the right groove of it or whatever, you can't be dry with that either because then it's just like hold on, like, you know. But if you're not, then you know it hits. But I would just say that's like a little dessert sometimes that comes along, but like the main entree for me, I mean, I love getting head. So Stephanie, we gotta explore what's going on with that because it's everything. But I will say I've had terrible, I've had bad experiences with women with that too. So like it's not.
Oh, I've heard like
it's not like oh my God, you're a lesbian, you're good at head. It's just like you have to guy, girl, whatever. Like you have to understand what you're doing.
Feels
There's
good.
just not.
Oh,
like
I know men can be great at it. My friends have told me, so I'm just like.
I just haven't been.
Have you had it?
I've had one experience where with one boyfriend, and it only was great 2 times, and that was it. Of
Interesting.
any guy I've been with.
Well, I think like that's different than
And that
like
was
even
pre-vibrator.
fingering. Like you know what. There's like something that you're doing, it's like a rhythm, whatever. But like with that, it's like you gotta like explore the territory. You know what I mean? Like hit the right spots. Like, and that's why I say like communication. I'm not like a sex therapist. Like I just speaking from like finally
Your
having
own,
good sex. Like I think communication is definitely key. Which T that you like kind of were like lay down the law of like you gotta find this. But but like
I even showed him how to rub me. I was like, you're not doing it right. You gotta use these fingers, this motion, this speed.
Did he do it right after?
Because he was just like always wanting to,
Like,
always trying to, and I was just like, this isn't it for me. Like,
I just always tell guys, I'm like, I was like, just stop. We can just have sex now. Like, I'm just like, just stop.
Hold on. But like, isn't it dry? Like,
I mean, when they're down there with their tongues, they just don't know what they're doing, and I'm just like, I feel really bad for you right now.
it's not that hard to understand. Like I'm saying, I do understand why women get it quicker because like it's instinctual, but it's also not that hard to understand. Like if I can figure out how to figure out your little naked mole rat, like, and I don't have it, then you can figure this out. Yeah, actually, just eat a taco. Like it's literally not that complicated. They just are getting impatient, which I will say sometimes it takes a while.
Yeah,
Like,
they do get impatient.
That's the reason why I'm just like, let's just have sex because this is gonna take too
But
fucking
my question
long.
is with that. Like, do you end up liking the sex? Like, are you dry?
No.
Okay,
I'm like
good.
usually like
I'm turned
into
on.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
But like when they're down there and they don't know what they're doing, it's just like uncomfortable because like I do feel almost this rush, like that the women
that'll
has
shut
to
you down
hurry
real
up.
quick. I mean, I experience that
like,
too. If
hey,
you're like,
hurry up! Like, oh, I'm down here, like fucking drowning. And then
and it's
just
like
like
10 minutes have passed. You're like, okay, I gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, and then it's like the guy's pleasure is just like so apparent. Like, it just feels like their pleasure and them getting off
It's the
is way more
priority.
prioritized than like
We're
women.
not accepting that.
Yeah, it really is.
well,
Like
we
there's
were
like this rush to like, oh my god, fuck, bitch, like come on.
Yeah.
If they're not taking the time, like, and they have to make you feel safe that like
That
you can
is key.
you can
Yeah.
take time, like whatever it takes to get you off, and like you're probably gonna come quicker because they even just said that, and you feel like comfortable and that you can go through the flow until that happens. Like, you know what I mean? But if you feel rushed, it's like that's just not gonna happen at this point because you can already tell that you just want to get this done, and like then I'm not even turned on at all, like, or vulnerable. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that's just if you're a lesbian. Like, I hope that women out there, like straight women, are getting off, you know. But I mean, in general, that is kind of a known stereotype that like straight couples sometimes. But it's not due to them. It's due to society. Like, that's just kind of how it's always been. That's why being in a lesbian relationship is totally off the handle because it's like we don't need to follow any of those anymore. Like there's not like one person that's prioritized from like a sexual point of view or like a job point of view. Like we don't have to deal with any of that. So like that definitely, it's like freeing sometimes. But
Damn.
Well, as far as like after like, okay, what about strap-ons? Are those like a? Because
the T is I've never actually used one, and I get bullied for this all the time. But like
if you're
in
not
my friend group, it's just
okay.
But no, I mean I'm not against it at all. It's just like for me, it's one of those things like I said, I had never masturbated until like I got a toy later on, and so like I'm just like not as proactive into that because it's like took me a while, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I would be comfortable using one with a partner that I'm comfortable with, but I just like this is my first serious relationship, so like not to say you have to be in one to use that, but for me, like I feel like I wouldn't be comfortable until I was in that position, and I now am. But like I don't know. I mean, I'd be fine to try it, but both of us we don't like need it.
Yeah.
So like I feel like because you know, but it's like if when we end up wanting to spice it up, try something new, like we will, I'm sure, like because I hear great reviews, but like I just, you know what I mean, like I don't need an external thing, and I definitely don't need something that looks like a dick. Like
I was just about to say, like if you're not into the real thing, like why?
I mean, I can't speak for other people who are obsessed with, you know what I mean. Like I'm sure I'll end up enjoying that, but I'm like, we're gonna have to find one that's like purple and sparkly or something. But like the ones with the veins, I'm like, at this point, just get the real one because I can't. No, but I mean, I think it's more just for like the level of penetration. Like it's not like, oh, we want to imagine a guy is here. That's obviously dead. But I think it's more like the penetration part. And like, this is interesting. I can't speak for myself, but like I've seen on TikTok, people like say that there's this thing. Is this like too much for them?
No, come on.
This is
it's
juicy.
like it's called like phantom dick or something. I forget what it's called, but basically like the girls who wear the strap on can sometimes like literally get off from like people or like using it on people. You know what I mean? Like if they're like fucking someone, like they can literally like get off even though they're just wearing it, like they're not being touched or anything. Or like they say, like if the girl like is like sucking the strap on, like they can feel like they're getting a blowjob. Like it's really weird. Like or if they like take it off after been using it for a while, they literally like can still feel it on, like it's part of them. What? Isn't that nuts?
The human brain is
that's what it's something about that. Like there's literally some sort of like placebo, like because you're doing the act, like it's like I'm sure it's like hormone related or what. Anyway, I've never been there, but I'm like, okay, that makes it kind of interesting. I was like,
do you know if people put condoms on strap-ons or dildos?
I think I've heard of it, like for like STDs and stuff like that.
Wouldn't you just like wash it off after?
Is it are STDs washable?
You can throw them in the dishwasher. It's fine.
I mean, but like alcohol,
Clorox.
I think with sex toys in general, like you can boil them with hot water, unless they're made out of plastic or something. But like that just boils the germs off.
Anyway,
another Googleable question.
I know we're adding all these terms. Yeah, so I don't know. I've never used a strap-on, but I hear great things. I think it's just like...
Is that something that you think that you might end up...
Yeah, I think I would. I mean...
Ooh.
Okay, do you know about ejaculating dildos?
Huh?
Okay.
We don't know.
So... Excuse me.
Explain. This is Stephanie.
So...
Stephanie goes... I'm an expert on
what is even ejaculate? What is the substance?
This is like... Okay.
I'm screaming.
So, my... lesbian friends in the past had kind of like were telling me about some things, and they said that like one of them one of the partners wanted to get a say it one of the partners wanted to get her partner a dildo that ejaculated so she could
setting.
I thought
like,
you
how
would
do you
know. I thought you would know.
How
because she thought that it would make, because her partner's bi, and she thought that it would make her, I don't know. There's a lot of deeper issues with this, I think. But like, anyway, like, and her partner was like, no, I don't fucking want that. Like, that's insane. She's like, I don't fucking need that.
I'll say that is
like one's a gold star, and then like.
Okay, so I was going to say like, that kind of plays into
not. Anyway.
Maybe there's like a button you click. Like, are you ready?
I thought that the only reason I asked is because I thought Maggie would be like, oh yeah, like, da-da-da.
No, I've never heard of that. But I also, like, I don't know anything really about, like, strap-ons.
Dude, there has to be one out there. Like, this world has everything.
Seriously.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, but I just was like, is that, like, a thing? So.
I think sometimes people, like, think bisexuals, like, there's definitely, like, it's called bisexual erasure. People usually refer to it, like, because sometimes the gay community, this is just a generalization, but, like, the gay community doesn't consider them gay enough to like be necessary, like, oh, you're just gonna end up with a guy, and then straight people can think like, oh, like you're just greedy, or like, you know what I mean, like you're gonna be with a girl anyway, so like why would you know, like, so it's like they're kind of felt in the middle sometimes, like, and I would say I identified as bi for a while, like, and
that's what I need.
Yeah. Like, well, so I had the girlfriend, and I didn't like even consider that I could be lesbian until like honestly when I got to Denver, because like, again, I only really had guys. There was one other girl that I, like, hooked up with a bit in Fayetteville. Like, so that, like, definitely confirmed, okay, that wasn't just that one girlfriend, that was, like, a little part of my life. Like, I clearly like women, period.
Yeah.
But the sex wasn't hitting with the guys, and, like, me and that girl weren't dating. So it was just kind of all a little bit lackluster, but the girl I definitely preferred. So I was like, that could be a possibility, but I still don't know, because I feel like I just don't have any options in general, like guys or girls. So it's hard for me to say I'm a lesbian, because I've not really have any options to really feel that out for myself. So when I got here and like had a plethora, literally any I could choose from, you know what I mean? Like it definitely was like, well, I'm enjoying this, and I'm not like looking elsewhere. Like there's nothing about me that like still wants to explore the guy part at all. Like, so I think it's dead. But I'm now dating someone that like I want to be with forever. So I'm also like, at this point, like I'm not even gonna be with a guy even if I wanted to. So like it's just dead. But I also don't want to.
But do you find? Okay, well I have two questions.
Yes.
So
I love this topic because like it's interesting in general, but I've been through it too. So it's like, and I still like sometimes I really think I might be just pansexual, which we can get into the terms.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what your question is.
No, I have. Well, okay. Would you say that like spur of the moment, like lesbian hookup it's not as good as it could be if you were actually like emotionally, because sometimes you can have like one night stands and hookups that are fucking mind blowing.
No, actually, I had like I've never really had like one night stand. Like I've had hookups, you know, but like I had one night stand with a girl like when I had first moved here, and it was everything. And I've never like I've always been like the type I kind of have to like someone or be dating them to like really get there. But no, I've never even seen her again. Like that was the only time.
So it can
like,
still be
yeah. If anything, just my experience. I can't say like this would be y'all because you don't like. You are straight as far as we know. But like, you know what I mean? Like for me, it's like girls are easier for me to relate to in general, like even from a friendship. And so then it like opens up that vulnerability to then like hook up. So it's like, I don't know. Like it always felt like there was just like, I couldn't break through that with a guy. Like, so, but I mean, I don't know. With a guy, that's also a benefit to a one night stand. Cause I feel like they'd be easier to have a one night stand with because I'm not interested in the entertaining, like the romantic part. So it's like I'm just like want to hook up. So do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so either one, I would say. I just would rather not touch a dick. But like guys are definitely easy to have. If I had been like that horny, I definitely would because I'd just be like,
well, yeah. Like, do you still find like other men that you meet that you're like, oh, absolutely, I would.
Well, this is what's interesting. It's literally like a meme on TikTok at this point because it's like I always look at you with a TikTok, so I'm like, I don't know how much you're on it, just from her and your sister. But like it's literally a joke that like girls who only think like Harry Styles and like Timothy Chalamet are hot, you know, it's like you might be a lesbian if like so it's like I'm definitely in that bubble like where it's like, but at the same time not just them, like I obviously like see guys that I think are hot, but it like ends there, if that makes sense. Like, and I've seen a lot of stuff and it's like you can see that someone is attractive, but you don't have to be attracted to the point like you'd want to do something.
I feel that even though we're having like this discussion, I feel that about women because I've like asked myself that too, but it's just like I have no interest in like.
Well, if you don't recognize that women are beautiful regardless of your sexuality, like
that's
your eyes check. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, like,
I'm like because we talk about it all the time. Like, oh my fucking god, like she is so hot, like she's so sexy,
and
like,
women are better about doing like other men have that like toxic, and they're grown, they're raised to feel like if I recognize that another man is attractive, even if I just want to be that, then I'm like being gay, no homo. You know what I mean? It's like women have never had that. We're like, girl, you are stunning. Where'd you get your hair? Where'd you get your shirt? Like, and it's not sexual, so that's just part of like culture. I think,
we talk about that way. Like we talk about Halsey in that way.
I would.
Oh, honey. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about her in a different way. You know what I'm saying?
I might talk about her in the same way. Yeah. I was like, I was like, at the time that we were talking about this, I was like, I'm not a lesbian, but I would figure it out for her.
We're figuring it out. I think Halsey might teach you, so.
Yeah.
Y'all like Kehlani?
I would full on.
Yeah, she's hot too. She just came out as a lesbian.
Yeah, dude, women are just insane.
Another win for the gays.
But even being a lesbian, like, do you not feel like even more so that everybody's a little bi?
I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I will say like it's just one of those things like due to society, and like we know that from more extreme point than others, like growing up in the South, you know, like just the way things are played out, and it's hard to explain, but like there's this term called what's it called? Compulsory heteronormativity. All the terms today.
Wow. Okay, we gotta jump into this next because we got a lot of schooling
compulsory
to do.
Heterosexuality. Basically, what that means in summary is you're like, I'm raised to act straight and like guys because that's like what I was. You know what I mean? Like from like the age of 2, people are like, oh my god, like their boyfriend and girlfriend if their toddlers are playing. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like you don't realize that it might be something else until you're shown that or explore that, but like otherwise most of the time you're being raised in this one way, like
even like from the children's toys,
like
we're probably going to start seeing a difference in children's toys because they're probably going to start becoming more gender fluid or
absolutely.
Where it's not
it's like parents are starting to like, you know, when their kids come home from first grade be like, do you have a crush? Like, do you like anybody? Instead of being like, do you have any boys you like? Do you have any girls you like? Like it's a way to open the topic. Because you're not going to see anyone either be like, my daughter's a lesbian at like 1 either. Yeah. But like that would be weird, but that's also weird to assume that she has a little boyfriend at preschool. You know, it's like I think people are learning to just like keep that an open topic so that because a lot of the times first graders come home and they start like saying their girlfriends' names. You're like, you know, the friends that are girls, but I just mean like you just like you corner kids into that like as they grow up, and then like it's no surprise that I clearly had no interest in guys, but like that's still the only area I was looking because that's what I don't know anything else, you know?
Yeah.
So all that to say, that plays into the whole confusion with like thinking guys are attractive, but it's like with that compulsory heterosexuality, aka you're trained to be straight.
Yeah.
Like even if I'm realizing I like women, whatever, you like some people like, and this is again, I do never want to invalidate bisexuality because that's a real thing. Like,
Yeah.
like people can like all genders, whatever. But I just mean sometimes it's hard for people who are lesbian to really let go of that because they have that compulsory hetero. Where they're like, I have a preference for women, but like guys are attractive too, so I'm bi. You know, and it's like, well, like you also are just trained to want to get validation from men, regardless. Like I want guys to think I'm hot, but it ends there. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want them to think I'm hot, and sometimes they're hot too, but like we're not doing anything. So it's like it's just a lot of like societal norms and stuff that play into that, and it's everybody's own like journey to figure out if that's like a compulsory thing or if they really are bi, like and have. But I just never had like equal experiences with guys and girls. So I think that's what showed me like that you know like one was me, but some people I'm sure have sex with guys and girls and they're like, oh, like it hits either way. There's things I like about both, you know. So but for me, like I identified as bi, and then like I don't know, I still don't know, but I will point out pansexuality. Like there's this whole thing with pan versus bi. Have you heard of pansexuality?
Just let's get into the vocabulary.
Okay. I will say, I want to bring it up because when I talk about things, I keep catching myself like saying guy and girl or whatever, and like I don't want to like exclude any gender or gender identity because it is more fluid than that. But like there's a whole thing with people kind of preferring to say pansexual over bi because bi means two, and so it insinuates only female and male, and that can be like exclusive for trans people, but it's confusing because people basically like sometimes say that pan is more open because it's not saying just two genders, but some people say, well, bi is also including trans men and women because it's still saying female and male and they identify as one or the other. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's if you never like looked into it, it can be like confusing, but my point is sometimes people just prefer to say pan because they don't ever want to insinuate that bi is like exclusionary to people that are non-binary or whatever. So all that to say, I would say I could be pan also because I don't know. I'm always attracted to gay guys. That's always a thing. Like literally, there's been multiple. Like you know my friend Romel. He's from Conway. He's gay as hell, but I literally had a crush on him in high school. Like every guy I've ever liked, not all of them. I know some of y'all are straight, but like a lot of them were gay, and so I feel like it's just like I don't know if I was interested in like what we were talking about earlier, like my type of girl is like tomboy kind of like they're a little bit more masculine, you know. Like I've never really liked a feminine girl like that looks like my type, like me. I mean. But
wait, would you be what they can like? Would you be a lipstick lesbian?
Yes, honey.
That's what somebody.
Yay, Stephanie knows the terminology.
I learned this last week when I was sitting with my friend, and I was telling him I was bringing you on, and he was like, "Let me see her."
And he's like, "Oh, she's a lipstick."
He's like, "Oh, she a lipstick," and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Wait, define that because I don't know.
I mean, I will say people don't actually like
say that.
It's more like in a joke, but like it does help to be like
a girly.
Oh, what's your type? And like you have to like explain it less or whatever. But yeah, lipstick lesbian, it's like a joke thing of like they like wear makeup and are really girly and like don't look as gay or whatever. So like that would be me, I guess. But sometimes it's funny because I feel like I'm like less girly sometimes than like some of my straight friends. But then like in the gay world, I'm like the girliest ever. So it just depends who you're around. But I'm lipstick, and then there's chapstick. It's a newer term, but that's my type, honey.
What's chapstick?
Carmex lesbian.
Is chapstick like tomboy?
Yeah, it's kind of like, so the other would be like butch, kind of like the typical like Orange is the New Black, like
short hair.
Yes, like really manly.
Male
yeah,
clothes.
Yeah. So and that's like I don't have a lot of friends with that because I feel like it's the like stereotype is like they're the older like motorcycle lesbians. You know what I mean? But that's like the other extreme of like there's really really girly or like really really tomboy like. But chapstick, I would say, was in the middle, like where they're like, not to say butches aren't pretty at all. I mean, like they still like have the feminine, pretty
but like
look,
more tomboyish.
But they don't wear makeup very much. Yeah, like they maybe whip on some mascara. Basically, my girlfriend's makeup tutorials whip on mascara in the car and like put on chapstick. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, just beat my mug and like you look this like same as me. And you literally
just beat my mug.
So yeah, just kind of like in the middle a little bit. But obviously, it's like more nuanced than that. You don't have to be like, okay, I got to figure out what type of lesbian I am. Like people fall in the middle of all
just
of those.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but it's just sometimes funny, like to like bond over that. Like a few, like there's only like 2 or 3 other girls like in my friend group here that are more girly, and so we're always like, here come. Well, we actually say femme more often, but the femme lesbians are here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been learning more about, like, I had my friend Michael here with me last week, and he's gay, and he was telling me all about like terms like top, bottom, and teaching me all about that. So let's get into that.
Well, that's, and I can't speak because it kind of stemmed from gay guys more. I think.
Okay.
But like, so girls, we also just kind of use that as in a joke way a little bit too. It just also just kind of explains your vibe or your role maybe. But I mean, with guys, it's a little bit more obvious. Gay guys, like the one who's
well,
fucking,
they'll like say it in conversation. They're like, "Oh, he's a top," or "He's a bottom." I'm like, why does that matter? I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, first of all, it's kind of more so just a joke, like because it's hard to explain if you don't know anything. I'm trying to like, I wish I had like a PowerPoint, basically, but like it's like okay, and it's also like so black and white. Like no one needs to think that like if you say like that you're a top, you're XYZ. It's just more like with guys, they say that because it's like who's fucking who, you know what I mean? It's like a little bit more obvious than the girl sex who's like a little bit more fluid, but like you kind of know what's happening with the gay guys. So like the top is the one topping the other. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with girls, it's like, it's kind of more like, I mean, you can still have the giver and the receiver, like with lesbians in a certain scenario, like who's fucking the other, like their fingers or whatever they're doing, you know? So I will say like, sometimes people tend to be like, there's some girls who like don't want to be touched. Like they're so like kind of the top and like masculine, like they want to like fuck other people. Like, so they would be tops, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And there's like bottoms who like are kind of the other way around where they're always the one like receiving, like they play like the like.
Okay.
But again, the only thing, some people push back about this because they're like, we don't need a role. Like that's also why people say they're verse, which means versatile, meaning like you'll do either one, which that's 90% of people I know. Like we say these terms, we joke about it, but it's really not like that. Like
so it is more
it's
like
not
the
like
gay community.
He's a top. Only, like it's just more like in that maybe if he's dating another guy, like he's the top because he's like a little bit more dominant. Like, but it doesn't mean anything deeper than that. It's just like part of the culture, kind of like to give some categorization. Because like again, with straight relationships, it's like there's the guy, there's the girl, he's fucking her with his penis. That's it. Like, you understand like what's going on there. But like with gays, it's kind of like we've created our own little understanding of like maybe she's the more like controlling one, or even if she's the femme, like you'd be surprised. You know what I mean? Like a lipstick could be like the top.
Oh, okay.
So it's like it's not that black and white, but it's just kind of fun. Yeah. More than anything, it's not like you have to. Welcome to the party. Let us know, like, if you're a top or a bottom. Yeah. You know, like, it's not that serious.
That's what I was like,
yeah, no, it's not.
What is a pillow princess?
I will say, people have said I'm that, but I'm actually a power bottom, which I'll just go ahead and tell you about that one, too. Yeah. Pillow princess is, like, a joke of, like, girls who are so bottom that they're, like, the opposite of the girls who don't want to be touched. Like, they don't do anything back to the other person. Like the joke is that their head is always on the pillow. Like that's why they're a pillow princess. Cause like they literally just receive and they don't do anything, which I will say, like, if that's your relationship dynamic and you both like one person wants to top 24/7, the other one, that's fine. But obviously people make jokes. It's like, is that always like they don't want anything back, you know? So
wow.
But I don't really know any actual pillow princess. It's just more of a joke. Like,
oh, okay.
You know, but power bottom is like funny because like, I always use that term for myself, and I just laugh because it's like when people think of bottom, they think like kind of like pillow princess, like you're just receiving and not doing anything. But it's like power bottom is like I might be receiving, but I'm leading the whole choreo. Like I'm telling you what to do. Like I'm keeping the show going. Like you know what I mean? I'm like, we're doing this now, hit here, and they want to, but I'm at least like leading the show. You
That's
know?
cool.
Wait, so you're a power bottom? Is that what you said?
I mean, you heard it here first. I mean, again, like it literally doesn't. When you hear that doesn't mean I don't ever top, right?
Yeah.
Or like top, whatever, like give. But yeah, I mean, also it's kind of with energy too. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
like,
yeah.
I'm kind of like I want this, but I'm gonna control. Also.
Yeah.
That's my personality. So
damn, okay.
But those are all mostly a joke, at least to me. Some people may take them very seriously, but it's like never that black and white. Like it's just kind of a joke. Like for instance, if one of our friends does something that's like they come in like kind of looking real good for wherever we're going, we'll be like, ooh, top energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or then if like someone's like doing something like can't fix, like, I don't know, they're working on something, they can't fix it. We're like, okay, bottom, like saying like you need help, you know, you need someone to do it for you. Like, that's literally, we use it there more often.
Very lighthearted. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna start commenting that on y'all's pictures. Top energy. Y'all are gonna live for it.
Please do.
That's so funny. Well, do you have a gaydar?
Like, is that a thing in lesbian world?
It absolutely is a thing.
Is it lesbian gaydar or just gaydar?
Is there
100% gaydar, just period. I think I could spot a gay guy from miles away.
Well, no, for even in women.
Yeah, no, I'll say, like, obviously some people can just, but that also plays into just like, oh, like that guy's being more feminine, he's got to be gay, which isn't true either, you know, and oh, that girl's more tomboy, like she has to be lesbian. So it's really not like that black and white, but it's more like there's just certain things, like once you're like in the community and like there's just certain understandings, like y'all might not even know this because like I'm saying, y'all aren't like deep into it, but like, have y'all heard Girl in Red? That's a band. Queer. But it's like, I don't even know much about that. I've just heard a few of their songs, but like it's really good, but it's like gay girl vibes. Like it's just like kind of like Haim, like those like rock alternative like energy, but they're like, it's like a thing where you say like, do you listen to Girl in Red? Like that's your way of being like, are you gay? Like it's like that kind of, so like there's certain giveaways, you know what I mean? Like if you have shorter nails, you're probably like, again, that doesn't mean lesbians can't have long nails. I'm trying to grow mine out. But I'm saying, like, you have shorter nails, like, they wear flannels a lot, like, they got a lot of tattoos.
What about the lipstick ones, though? Is that when you ask the question?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Anything that is said is so black and white. Like, it's not. Yeah, y'all are like, wait. Y'all are both giving trade energy today. Yes.
Oh, well, this is a whole different type of energy.
Lacey's got.
It's crusty nails.
Stephanie's got bottom energy.
And
she's got top. Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Just by your nails today. You would be a power bottom, period.
I know. Yeah. I'm like,
already know.
Yeah. Okay, so in the gaydar,
but no,
like,
I think there's just certain things that you pick up on, like, and that you realize, like, I'm trying to think of an example, but it's just
it's
like,
energy.
Yeah, it's definitely style, obviously, but like, I would say girls are, like I was saying earlier, like, girls are harder for people to get, like, if they're not gay, because girls can kind of have more style freedom. Yeah. But like, I just feel like when you're gay, you kind of pick up on it a little bit more. Like, you just notice little things, like the Vans, like the tattoos, like it's the way they like carry themselves too.
Speaking of like TikTok, I like got on it during quarantine and just that's all I had to do. And I just like rainbows, and for the longest time I had just a rainbow in my bio.
Oh yeah.
And everybody thought that I was a lesbian.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is kind of funny. And I would always wear like just Hawaiian shirts because that's my style.
Oh no, honey, you gave them a signal. This is what I'm saying.
And like
they were probably saying top energy in your comments.
So many guys were like, damn, I wish she was straight.
Oh my god!
Hey, if you ever want to scare off the guys, just put on a Hawaiian shirt, and that's all you
need
to do.
We like that.
No, it's not. That's not necessarily only gay. It's just like it was the rainbow and the shirt. Okay. If you got two or more elements, we're gonna be sus. You know, like, damn. But yeah, I don't know. That is a thing. I like forgot of it when I was
Dude, I had no idea. I was just like, y'all, I just like rainbows. I just like the colors.
Yeah, and I get that too because that like was my style. That's like always been my vibe. You know what I mean? Like rainbows, glitter, unicorn, all that stuff. So like, it's not just because I'm gay, I'm like suddenly obsessed. You know what I mean? It's just like, so I can see like if I was straight, people probably think that anyways because I'd be like rainbow everything. So it's just like hard, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's not the worst thing to be.
I know. I was just like, let them think.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
This was good. I've learned a lot today.
I know Stephanie's got her homework on these words, but
I know.
At least she learned.
Do you have any? What else? My mind is blank.
I don't know.
I think that we should.
I mean, the summary is that y'all have got to figure out this head situation.
I have to.
We really do.
Yeah.
But I've been on the hunt. Okay, I'm gonna be. I've been on. I'll be super candid. Like 4 years ago, I was like on the hunt to like. The hunt is such a wrong word. I was really wanting a sexual experience with a guy that was like big, and I had never like experienced that.
Zoom in on my face. And
I found it.
Can y'all add cricket noises?
I found it. It was awesome. Whatever. Anyway, okay, but now I was like, okay, now my hunt is to find a guy that's like really good at that.
Yeah, you better keep that as part of your hunt just forever. I think.
That's a definite. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't really care for a long or large penis. Like, just give me like a boyfriend.
I just want to. Okay, at this point, I'm like, I just want. You know.
Honestly, I think my homework is to. I'll just take one for the team. My homework is to figure out, like, do all the research of what pleases a woman so I can then educate the guys that I'm with. Because they're not going to fucking do it. They're not going to
I'm
do
going
it.
to ask my friend to be like, can you send me those videos? Can I? And I could just, like, forward them to all the guys in my phone.
I'm like, hey, look what I learned today.
Literally, there's like stuff I've actually, I don't know how, it's like something from TikTok too, I think, or like Twitter, but like there's literally stuff on YouTube. It's not like porn, it's literally like
educational.
Yeah, like obviously it can seem like sexual or whatever, but it's like actually educational. And this guy, like, I forget, I was like mind blown, but I was like, he's actually doing a good job, so we stand. But like it was like walking you through like what the movement should be like when you're giving a woman oral sex, and like maybe you can find that, but like obviously it's so you shouldn't have to like give someone the instruction manual like when they get in your bed, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like
if I'm comfortable with them, yeah.
Well, I just mean you shouldn't have to, but at the same time, like communication is key. Like if that person, guy or girl, but like for you guys, guy, like is interested in getting you off, like you'll learn pretty quickly, I guess, if they give a shit, you know, like if they're willing to like talk about it or be like, oh, like move over there, like go faster, go like slower, you know, like they'll listen or they won't, and like that's, you don't need to waste your time on someone who doesn't listen. Like,
not no
really
more wasting time.
Also, I will say using a toy from me, like because as you heard, I didn't have a lot of like great sexual experiences. Like I had good ones, but it just wasn't like mind blowing. Literally, my toy was the first thing to give me an orgasm until my current girlfriend. Like that was the like, so it was a robot first. Stunning. Sponsor the, what was it called? Satisfier Pro. You can get it on Amazon.
I mean, I've had really I've had great, amazing sex with a guy. Like, but I also, I mean, the toy.
Well, I meant to say with the toy, obviously you should probably like find it in a human at some point if you want a relationship, but I meant like using it and figuring out what actually works for you, like makes it to where you don't have to go through like biology class necessarily with them. You just have to say, well, I know for sure this one thing hits, so like that's what I should tell them. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like the better that you know yourself, the easier that you can. And I can't fix the part of like they don't give a shit, they're like just still trash at it, but sometimes it really just does like take being a power bottom. You know what? That's the lesson for the day. Y'all better go into sex as a power bottom energy, because you're telling them what to do, and you will end up pleased.
Ooh,
so. And they'll kind of like the control. Men need it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
I'll be reminding Stephanie. Don't worry.
I could do that role. I got that. Anyway. Okay. Well, we need to start wrapping it up because this is a lot, but we have 3 questions we want to ask you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You want to go first?
Pfizer or Moderna?
That's good.
Damn, sorry I ruined it.
That's good. Okay.
What is your favorite way to eat a potato?
Or cook it.
I was like, what? Eat what? We were just talking about this. Okay, yes. I love a good twice baked potato, like Mark said. I did hear that. But I think I love potato skins, although it's hard because I don't eat bacon.
So I used to love those.
Usually, like when I've gotten them recently, I have to like get no bacon, so it's literally just cheese and like chives or whatever.
Dude, yeah.
Is that my favorite? I guess. I mean, I don't. That's not the thing I eat the most, but I think that would be my favorite. Like cheesy potatoes. Oh, that's hits.
Damn, yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what if you could be good at any Olympic sport, hot or cold, and you're like the best at it, no breaking bones or anything? What would it be?
Oh God, I don't even know what the list is.
What's at the top of your head? I mean,
it's the way. I'm only thinking of soccer because Abby Wambach. That just shows how gay I am. I literally don't know anyone else. I literally don't like know
soccer.
Actually, I do. I don't hate watching soccer. I did it when I was 8, and a lot of like I do like watching the women's national team. Like I just like those girls, like their Instagram, like they're easy to follow and stuff. But like soccer, I actually know what's going on. Okay. I don't know what's going on with most other sports. Yeah. So maybe I would say soccer.
Okay. Yeah. Mine was synchronized swimming.
Oh wow!
I feel like that would be gymnastics.
Is dance an option?
I think isn't that an Olympic?
I don't know.
No idea. I'm not.
I did dance for 13 years growing up, so like maybe that, but I don't think that's an option.
I just like gymnastics. Why? Because I mean the floor routines
the tumbling
are so
is
cool.
everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how people do that. So maybe
that's like people's like biggest. Like that's the most said one is gymnastics.
Yeah. It's so fun to watch. I've always loved dancers and like gymnasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the third one?
Would you rather smoke on the beach, smoke weed, or trip in the desert?
I've never tripped before. I know that's a hot take on Here We Go.
Oh my god.
But trip in the okay. I mean, I would honestly say smoke on the beach because that sounds like a vibe, but I also haven't tripped, so I can't say that wouldn't hit
fair.
either, you know?
Yeah.
I've like done mushrooms like a little, like everything just a teeny bit, like to where it never really took to the level,
Like
you know?
microdosed them?
Yeah, exactly. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't like experience what I know that you guys have talked about, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But I'm also very hot natured, so I don't know. Sweating is not me.
Well, okay.
Are we talking like
Well,
referring
then,
to the desert?
Yeah, like
Okay. So we'll say smoke on the beach.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
But maybe if I experienced it with y'all, it'd be different on the desert.
That will happen. Okay, well,
This
damn.
was so fun.
This was
Sorry,
really
there was
good.
so much information to
No,
process.
I-
but
I
you know,
feel
we
well
can always have a
educated.
follow up.
I think this will be very educational for people, especially since our
Good.
biggest listening base right now is Arkansas.
It is.
I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure
so-
I'll know many of the people. So hey, girls, yeehaw,
Yeah.
and go hogs.
Well, okay, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I know
thanks
I'm
for
like I'm
coming
not
on.
a professional, but I would love to talk about being gay and like like since we're all from Arkansas, it's kind of like fun to explore like stuff since we've all moved off, like how that upbringing affects us. But like once
Yeah.
you move somewhere else, we
How it's
still like
different.
have that element
Right.
to us too. So
Yeah.
anyway, it was really fun talking to you guys about it.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. This is good.
Fast forward to 6 months from now, one of them's gonna come out.
I mean,
They're in Denver. You never know.
yeah, new life, you know. Okay, well, tell everybody where we can find you.
I think my Insta is at MaggieKW_.
Wait, is it not Maggie_KW?
That's what I'm scared of. I think it's KW_.
I think it's KW underscore.
Maybe I'll just type Maggie KW and
Okay,
see
I
what
think-
happens.
Yeah,
Y'all can figure it out
Yeah.
from there.
you'll figure it out. We'll actually tag her. So
And that's
it
really
doesn't
it. I
matter.
don't want y'all on my Twitter, so that's it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Oh, and
guys.
TikTok, MagSwag69, I think.
Yeah.
MagSwag69. I don't like make actual good TikToks like Lacey. I just like do unhinged things randomly, like when I like the sound, and that's it.
Unhinged.
Max Wax 69.
69.
I was not expecting that at all.
way to end it
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Maggie, for coming on. And yeah.
We'll catch you in the next episode.